friends. How are you this evening? Um, Welcome to Men of Monroe on a Thursday. And Sean was on earlier today with a pre-recorded video. If you missed it, you can definitely find it out there on the Brutus Monroe channel or on Sean's Manly Made Minute channel. He made a really beautiful card using the products I'm using tonight. Unfortunately, he's back off traveling. So this week, next week, he will be up in the air during Men of Monroe, but he'll be back the week after that. So you're stuck with me. Let's see who we have here. Hello, Jamie. Hey, Jay. Hi, Brandon. Hello, Karen. Hey, Luann. Smoky Pittsburgh. I understand it's a smoky Boston too, and this Canadian wildfire smoke is really wreaking havoc on my sinuses. So I've been taking Sudafed all day. Karen says, yes, she saw Sean on YouTube. Gorgeous card. Yes. Yep. It was beautiful. Hello, Kara. How are you? Hey, Dan. Nice to see you again. You're a bit smoky, Jay? Yeah. There's Sandy. Hello, Sandy. Sean's card was gorgeous. So really go and if you have a chance, take a look at the video. I believe it'll also be shared on the socials as well. So if you don't get a chance to see the video right away, you'll be able to see his card on the socials. Hey, Shirley, nice to see you, friend. It's been a while. Nice to see you. There's Deb and Dante. Hello, friends. All right, we got quite a nice crew with us this evening. So I'm going to jump in and head on down to my desktop and show you what I'm working with. Same products that Sean was working with if you saw his video earlier. And honestly, I am really excited because I love florals. And so when I saw that the Stamp Club Premium Floral or the Stamp Club Premium membership set for the month was florals, I was extremely happy about that. And not only are they florals, they're really pretty florals. That comes with 3 different thank you sentiments. So I'll be using this stamp set tonight. I'm also going to be using the really pretty Cotton Candy paper pad collection subscription of the month. This is really soft, really pretty. I don't know if you've had a chance to see it. I'll take this out so you can get a feel for it. To me, it looks like the sky with clouds, but the name is Cotton Candy. And, you know, that is a really nice cotton candy color. I'm getting a little too much light there from my side light. I apologize. So we have really nice pink and blues. Another one with pink and blues. Then we bring some green in. Lots of green on that one. So really, really pretty paper. It really is a gorgeous stamp set, Dan and Sandy. I like it a lot. And yes, this paper pad is fantastic too. So really excited to be using both of these tonight. And honestly, this is kind of, for the most part, what I'll be working with. I have a fun design planned out. Oh, forgot to put that away. And if you saw Sean's earlier, or if you saw Sarah's earlier in the week, what I think is really cool is that we all had some similar ideas in mind, but they're all very different. So as I mentioned, I have there is some kind of I don't like my lighting this evening. I don't feel it's doing very good for you on the, let me see if I can, let me get that turned down. I think that's going to help. Let me turn that off. And then that should help. Hopefully this will adjust. So I'm using a sheet of the paper, the cotton candy. This one has some of the blue and the pinks. And then I'm also using some of our tombstone. It's a nice gray that I've cut down to a 4-inch by 5.25 inch. That's going to fit right inside of my card base. Yeah, it is washed out, Deb, and I'm having a hard time with the lighting tonight. And honestly, I don't know why. Let me try. I don't want to be too dark for you all, but I don't want it to really be washed out for you either. Let's see if this is helpful, if this helps adjust it. Yeah, I think that helped a little bit. No, that's still. Oh, there we go. Yeah, you can see that paper a little bit better now. Hey, Anne, welcome, friend. So I'm using that one. Then I have that tombstone. The cotton candy paper, I pre-cut my paper down. This is cut to 3.75 inches by 5 inches. I'm not using this whole panel, though. You'll see what I have in mind for this. And then I have a piece of white that is cut down to the same size as the, oh, that's this one right here, as the cotton candy paper. And that is, again, 3.75 by 5. And that's going to be layered on here as well. And then I just have a sheet of our white paper for stamping and coloring. So I'm going to start by getting the card base kind of going. And this is the easy part, because it will just be getting some adhesive onto the back of that gray panel, which again is at 5.25 inches by 4 inches, so that there's just a little white border going around on from the card base. But I wanted a little gray to be showing, just to kind of break up and incorporate the same color of the ink I'm choosing to use tonight. So let's get that centered on there. That looks good. So there's the easy part. All right. And now, I had mentioned I have the white that's cut to the same size as this, and that, once I'm done with some stamping, is going to go on here as well. And as you can see, it's just with that nice framed out kind of concentric type of cuts that I have going on, with each successive one coming down by 1/4 inch. And for my stamping on here, what I want to do is get my sentiment on there. So let's choose our sentiment. And then also, I think, some leaves. And I'm kind of liking this thanks in the cursive, or the thank you in the cursive. Thinking I'm going to go with thanks. So we're going to get that stamped on there. And I'm going to want to do that kind of right in the center. And I'm going to try to get some leaves on there, kind of framing it out. But these leaves are going to remain uncolored. And they're going to be just in a nice gray. So I like that alignment. So we're going to use that. Grab my stamping platform. Hope everyone's having a good week. I have been, except for the sinus issues from the wildfires. It's been a little crazy. I'll tell you, it got a little scary looking out there yesterday, because it was such a shade, like there was like an orange haze throughout the sky. And I was on a Zoom meeting with my boss, and he was like, "Did you look outside? Did you see how weird it looks?" And I said, "Yeah." And I said, "I'll tell you right now, Matt, if all of a sudden I see three little people with giant lollipops standing outside of my window looking in, I'm going to book it. I'm going to get out of here." And he started to laugh. Hopefully you are all Wizard of Oz fans as well and get that reference. I figured you probably would. There we go. So we have our thanks and that nice gray. We have that set of leaves. And I'm going to put some leaves down here. And I got a little smudge there, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. I'm going to leave that thanks right there. And now for this one, I'm going to come in from down here. And all of these leaves will not be seen because of what I plan to do with the colored paper. But part of them can be seen, and it's just adding a bit to the design. So let's do that. Oh, thanks for the laugh, Dan. Much appreciated. I just noticed how inked up my hands already are because I was working on some projects before coming live. And so I should have washed my hands before showing them to all of you, but forgive me. At least you know I've been busy. Dan says we're supposed to be getting smoked. Oh, okay. Oh, you're in Virginia. Okay. Yeah, it's so interesting how far south it's drifting down because of the jet stream and the changing of the weather patterns. So Tuesday it was dark around here, but it wasn't too bad. Yesterday, I mean, you walked outside and you could actually smell the smoke. So it was pretty strong too. Okay, so I have that stamped out. I'm going to be using my platform again soon for some flowers. But before I do that, I want to go ahead and get that onto here. And I'm going to put some tape on the back. And then set that in place. I don't know how many of you have seen this this stamp set before tonight, but I have to say it is my absolute favorite out of the July release. I just absolutely love it, and I'm glad to see Brutus Monroe getting some more florals in. Okay, so I'm going to be stamping flowers in a minute, but I wanted to show you my plan is what I want to do is that, as you can see, is going to fit right over the white, but obviously I don't want the whole thing to be there. Hey, Annie, welcome. Oh, Dan, yeah. You know, I have to tell you, this is worth every penny. I used to buy the kind of like the individual tape rollers, and it just wasn't economical. It wasn't very environmentally friendly either. So I bought this, and it's really easy to thread the refills through, and they last for quite a while. So it's well worth it. So what I want to do is to give this kind of a nice funky look, and I am going to kind of approximate how far down I want this to come, and I want to tear it. And when I tear it, I want to make sure that I'm getting some of that white border in there. And I'll show you what I mean by that in just a second. So that white border, when you tear the paper, and you can just see where it's kind of torn off the print on top. I really like that look. I think that torn look is really cool. And I'm going to use that kind of like that. And then I'm going to do the same thing down here. And I want to just approximate. I don't want to cover up my thanks. So I need to make sure that I'm not going too high. But I think if I go like right about here on the bottom, and I'm just going to tear across. And then this is going to sit right there, and it's going to cover up some of those leaves, and that's okay. If I want to tear that one a little bit shorter, I can, but I'm actually okay with this. I like that. So that is exactly what I was going for. And so I'm not going to get rid of that. I'm going to save it because it's a scrap that I can use. But what I want to do now is grab some double-sided foam tape strips. And I want these to be propped up to give it a little bit of dimension on there. So I'm just going to put some of these on there. I apologize if you see me moving, kind of jerking around a bit. One of my dogs has decided that he wants some attention, and he's under the table, nudging up against me and trying to climb onto my chair, kind of whining a bit. So if you hear that whining, that is my Baxter wanting to be heard. But just a little while, okay? Usually he's pretty good, and he just kind of lays down while I'm doing this, but he's certainly looking for some attention tonight. So let's get the backing off of this. Thanks for joining, Annie. Always good to see you. Always good to see all of you. That's why I love Thursdays. Not only is it a day closer to Friday, work-wise, but it's also Men of Monroe night. And I'm going to put 2 down here. What do you all think of that torn edge look? I happen to really like it. Yeah, Jamie, Mr. Baxter, he's looking for some attention. Meanwhile, my Miss Sophia's, the one that you saw maybe at the beginning, jumped down off of the chair in back of me. She's usually perched there while I'm crafting. Oh, I love that, Jamie. Love it. Yeah, Baxter knows that once this is done, they're going to go out for their final walk of the night. And then the rest of my wild plan for tonight is to sit in the chair and watch a marathon of Flea Market Flip, which is a show that I've always really enjoyed. And I've probably seen a lot of them already, but, you know, they're still fun to watch. So Sandy likes the straight edge. Dan and Annie like the torn. Yeah, me too. I just think it's kind of cool. Well, I'm going to bring it up a little closer, and then adding the dimension with the foam tape just makes it a little bit more, gives it a little something extra. So let me get these back on, and then I'm going to start stamping my flowers. And so I'm going to, Luann's a straight edge as well. Okay. Sandy said Zeus just rang the bell. Okay. Good luck with Zeus, Sandy. Annie, you like that? Yeah, I like it too. It's a lot of fun. Now I'm going to stamp my flowers that I'm going to use in gray, but I'm going to fussy cut them, and I am going to color them, and they're going to kind of sit just right on either side. So this is a really simple design, but I like the mix of the color and the just that black or the gray and white in the background. So, oh, it's on Hulu now. Okay, good to know. Yeah. Yeah, one of the channels I get, Destination America, every Thursday and every Sunday morning has been showing a marathon of it for 4 or 5 hours, and I just get sucked in. So much so that I went kind of like thrifting and flea market shopping with some friends last weekend, and I got a great deal. I ended up getting these two shadow box frames, um, and a really cool wooden tray that has a kind of like a galvanized metal, distressed metal type of bottom to it. And I got all three for like $10. And so I'm going to use them in some Christmas crafting and turn them into something else. That is my plan. Yeah, it was on HGTV. Yep, that's when I had first seen it. And now Lara Spencer has another show on Freeform. I think the season has ended, but it was called something Flip, and they would have to go to not flea markets, but kind of like it's Thrift Something Flip, and they would have to buy all of their items at thrift stores to decorate a room, and that one's a lot of fun too. Yeah, Annie, it can be really fun to go thrift shopping. I certainly had a great time. Okay. Now that those are stamped, I can come in and get these colored. And so I'm going to start with my leaves, and I have two really I'm going with more pastel-y colors tonight to kind of match in with the pastel on the cotton candy paper. So I'm using some greens that are not so bright, and are going to just be a little bit on the darker, or not necessarily the darker, but the more muted shade, if you will, instead of any kind of really bright green. And when I'm coloring like this, I typically, what the way I learned for florals, through some of the classes I took in Altenew Academy, is to start with your dark and then work into your light. But I know people who kind of do the opposite and start with the light and then work into the dark. So really your call. I tell people just to, like, you do you. Whatever's the best approach for you. And the second green is a little bit brighter than the first one. But what's nice is we're adding the shadow in with that darker one, the more dull. And then as you use this lighter, brighter green, you get that nice shadow and shading on your leaves. So it makes it really easy to color your leaves by doing that approach. And that way, by getting my leaves done first, I am alleviating the possibility of Walter pulling a Walter and getting green onto my flowers that are nicely colored, and that way less of a chance of messing up. For those that may have joined late, Sean is traveling for work. So I'm flying solo tonight and next Thursday as well. Sean did share a video earlier today that he so nicely recorded last night before having to leave. And he's going to record one for next week as well. And then that way, at least you're still hearing from both of us. Just he'll be with us in spirit, but he'll be up in the air. What about happy little Jay? You know, I am all about embracing happy little accidents, and I truly am. But getting like green onto a flower that I'm really happy with just kind of crushes me a bit. You are alleviating the possibility. Oh, Jay, you're on a roll tonight, huh? So I originally was thinking about doing my picture, my flowers in pink. But now I'm kind of leaning towards doing them in purple, just to kind of add in a little bit more color than just like the pink. And since this blue pink combination up here in the corner is kind of looking like a very light purple, so I think I am going to go ahead and do the purple. So I have 3 shades, a dark, a medium, and a light that I'm going to use. And similar to my leaves, I'm going to start with my darkest one. And I'm not using too much of the dark one. This is really, truly for shading and the center. Because when I'm doing florals, I like to have that, I like to have it go from darker in the center out to lighter, unless it's a flower that doesn't look like that. But that's generally a pretty safe approach, I think. Yeah, I absolutely agree, Deb. Great minds. So like I said, just a little bit of this darker purple. I'll then come in with my middle shade and work that. I'm trying to get close to that center of the flower, but I'm trying not to go into it. But as Jay pointed out, if I do, it'll just be a happy little accident. So I think I got all the dark there. I'm going to come over here now. Put in on this one. Hello, Penny. Welcome, friend. Oh, no worries. We're all just hanging out, doing a little coloring, having some fun. Actually, there's this one leaf back here that I want to make a little bit darker. It's just the very top of a leaf, but where it's so small, we'll just pretend that that's all just shading there. It's all shaded in. If you go to a botanical garden and look at a given type of flower, you can see, yes. Oh, thanks, Jay. I appreciate that. Oh, Penny, that's not fun. Sorry to hear that. I was an accounting major in college, and my tax professor had a rule in class that we could not call it the IRS. We had to call it the IR because he said they're not your friend and they do not provide a service. So it was the IR. He was a pretty funny guy. And when I'm coming in with that next, the middle shade, I do go over that dark just to blend it in with the next one. I don't want to completely wash it out and drown it out though. So I go over it a bit, but I just want to make sure that it's blended. And I'm just coming up a bit. I'm not going all the way up to the top because then I'm going to use the lighter color to kind of blend it all together. And on these outer leaves, if you go up a little too far, that's absolutely fine because, again, we're going to be coming over things with a lighter color. And it will all work out. And may as well move over here to this other one and do the same thing. That way they're moving along at the same time, same pace. Oh, geez, Penny, sorry to hear that. Yeah, yeah, they truly do not provide a service. They just like to make life difficult. And I'll tell you, people say that accountants don't always have a good sense of humor, but I have to disagree. On his exams, he would always have like you would just start cracking up as you're taking it because he would just use like funny names. He would say the firm of Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe, or he would say Mr. Sal Manella got sick at a restaurant. So really, really funny guy. Now I'm realizing I don't love this shade of purple that I picked for the lightest. I'm going to grab a different one, so bear with me, please. Let's try this. Oh, much better. That's what I should have grabbed to begin with. The one I was using just looked like I wanted lighter and a little bit more like on the fuchsia side, but that one I grabbed was just too pinky for what I was looking for. I don't know if anybody knows what and I don't know the answer to this, which is why I'm asking. I wonder what type of flower this is. It's very pretty. And I'm not too worried about if I go outside the line because I am going to fussy cut these. So I can easily leave that out. Deb, I'm hoping that the lighting is still better than it had been. Hopefully. I don't know what was going on with it tonight. I don't usually have that much of an issue. Looks like a pansy, Sandy says, and Penny, okay. Yeah, I can, you know what? I can see that. Yeah, it does kind of look like a pansy. I'm just going to go around one more time, making sure I'm happy with the blend on there. There we go. And now, Annie saying a primrose. Oh, good. Thanks, Deb. Interesting, Annie. Yeah, you know. Although I believe that primroses and pansies are kind of similar. I'm certainly no floral expert, that's for sure. I know just about enough to make me dangerous. I know that my favorites, I love, yeah, the name was right on the tip of my tongue, and now it's, oh boy. I'm getting old. Hydrangeas. Hydrangeas are my favorite. Hey, Kate. I like that. I like that. Oh, I just noticed that I forgot to color in my centers, but I will do that as soon as these are cut out. There's another detail I want to add in as well. I'll show you something that I often do with my florals just to give another little like detail and another little pop. And it generally looks, I think, pretty good. You were reading. Oh, good. Hey, Candy. Welcome, welcome. Kate, I hope you're reading something good. I'm actually, you know, I love to read, but I have to admit, I have the bad habit of when I get into bed at night, getting onto TikTok and unfortunately doom scrolling. But I have been reading a book that is really, really interesting. It's nonfiction, and it's a memoir of this gentleman that he was a copywriter and publishing in New York. Pretty senior position. Oh, I forgot to finish the rest of that leaf too. And oh my goodness, hey Sarah, welcome, friend. And his brother happened to pass away from cancer. And it really got him evaluating what he was doing with his life and was he really happy? And he always loved art. And so he left his job as a copywriter in publishing to go to work as a security guard at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York. And this is all about, the experience with losing his brother, diving into the museum and finding solace and comfort in the paintings. And it's really well written. It's called All the Beauty in the World. Came out a couple of years ago, and I'm really enjoying it. If the leaves are correct on the flower, then it's closer to a pansy than a primrose. Primrose leaf, very narrow. Oh, okay. Thank you. That's interesting. That must be a comment coming in. I experimented with also having this go to my YouTube channel. So I think that that's not me answering my own question, friends. It looks like that is something coming from, actually, it looks like Penny's. Penny, okay. So I think when Penny answered that, it came also from my YouTube channel. Oh, yeah, I highly recommend it, Sarah. I definitely would check it out. Really well written. And it's just so fascinating also to learn more about the art and also like to hear about the experiences that these security guards have. I could actually see myself wanting to do something similar because that just sounds kind of fun. Certainly more fun than living in spreadsheets all day, which is what I do for my day job. Hence my need for a creative outlet like this. Okay, now I need to come in and finish off that leaf that I forgot. There we go. And do my centers. Ah, thanks for explaining that, Candy. When I saw that it came from me, I was like, what? How did that happen? So for the centers, I'm going to use 2 shades of yellow, one a little darker around the outside, and then work towards a lighter. Both are pretty light in general, the shades I chose, because again, I'm going for more muted pastel-y type colors just to blend in with the paper better. Oh, good. You're welcome. Now I just have to hope you enjoy it because I certainly wouldn't want to be giving out bad recommendations, but I think it's really good. All right, here we go. So we have our flowers done. And as I had said at the beginning, each of the flowers are going to kind of live on either side of that thanks. And I'm going to go ahead and get those adhered down. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some double-sided foam tape in the middle to hold it there. And then I'll probably put just a drop of glue on either side to make sure that it holds it down to the card. Oh, great, Dan. Yeah. Oh, I want the double-sided tape first. Well, it's just, I thank you for stopping in, Candy. Since my friend is traveling, it's always nice to have the company. So I'm just going to put that tape right down onto that white sheet on the bottom. Peel those off. Thank you, Pamela. I'm having fun with it so far. I was saying at the beginning, I was so excited to see the florals in this month's release. And These really are great, great flowers. And I think I might do it this way so that one has the more amount of leaves down here, and the other one's going to have them up there, just kind of like that yin and yang. So we'll do that. And I'm going to put that glue there and put a dot over here and do the same thing up here just to secure it. Get it nicely in place. There we go. Sarah, technically yes, but I have to say, I have not gone on and updated anything on Goodreads or posted to it in years. So while I am there, and you can see some of my previous reads, you certainly will not see anything recent from me. Oh, thank you. I do enjoy coloring florals. And then to finish this off, I'm just going to add in a few little gems. Still using my gems I bought from Brutus Monroe 2 years ago. There's so many in there, they are never going to run out. I'm convinced of that. So I'm going to put one there, and we'll throw one over here, and let's do one a little bit closer there, just to break it up. Hey, Nikki. How are you, friend? I don't see you as often anymore. I know you said you've been busy, and I know you also are up kind of late with Drea and friends, so I completely get it. But it is nice to see you. Oh, thanks, Sandy. And with adding in those crystals, I am done. There is my card. What color are there? Yeah, it is hard to tell. I don't know what's going on with my lighting tonight, Pamela. I've actually turned off 2 lights, and it's still a little muted. But these particular gems are light pink crystals, so they're a very, very light pink color. Yes, I agree, Sarah. I think that they just start to multiply. Oh, thanks, Dan. Thanks, Jay. Yeah, I mean, really, you can see how easy that was and how easily it came together. And really just a lot of fun. And I loved coordinating that gray, the tombstone cardstock from Brutus Monroe as that background kind of border piece. And then for my stamping, I used the Shady from Simon Hurley, which matches in really nicely with it. So I think that's a nice match, and it kind of, I think, looks nicer than the black. And the same for stamping out the florals too. It's not as dark as black would be, so it's not too overpowering. Oh, thanks, friends. Luann and Brandon and Kara and Candy and Sandy. Thanks. Oh, okay. Well, good luck, Nikki. I'll be sending all good vibes your way, my friend. Yeah, I'm glad that you were able to as well, Sarah. Thanks. I know this is starting to border on later in the evening for you, so much appreciated. And since we showed that, I'm going to pop back up to the top. Thanks, Annie, to go ahead and be able to say goodbye. So you can see on this view, it's a little bit darker, but down here for some reason, I don't know what, my lighting's a little funky tonight. I'm going to blame it all on the wildfires because the smoke is coming back in and, so thank you, Karen. Thank you, Anne. Thank you all so much for joining me tonight. Again, I'll just remind you, if you didn't see Sean's video from earlier today, definitely go out there and take a watch. It's a really, really pretty card that he made. If you missed Sarah earlier this week, she used this stamp set as well, and she had two really, really gorgeous cards using it. So you can see how we all kind of think about it a little bit differently. And again, just as a reminder, I'll be back here next Thursday at 7. Sean will not be here, but he'll have a video earlier in the day again, and then he'll be back with me the following week. And tomorrow night, don't forget that Candy is on at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. And you can see what she does with the particular stamp set. So then you can really see kind of an array of designs. So I hope you all have a great rest of your evening and a wonderful weekend. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Oh, Candy's watercoloring tomorrow. All right. I'll talk to you soon, friends. Enjoy.